What is going on with everybody tonight? Give y'all a couple minutes to pile up in here while I go down and try to change the thumbnail. StreamYard's weird, man. If you don't like upload it from like your phone, transfer it over and save it, then you got to go through a whole bunch. And I'm not a nerd. I'm not a geek. I'm not computer savvy. I do 99.9% of what I do from the jack. So we already got Tyler Desert in the house. Salute, Mr. Diddy, as always. A big salute. Jake McCormick, what's good, big homie? Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Christine Russo, happy Easter. Happy Easter. Racing Girl 63, happy Easter. Thomas Ledwick, it is 9:30. Brandon J, what's good? Hey, happy Easter and salute to everybody, man. Like I said, I'm going to give y'all just a minute or two to pile in. Then I'll check into the chat. In the meantime, I'm going to go change this thumbnail that you're currently looking at because that is trash. So I'm going to turn the volume all the way down so we don't feed over top of what we currently got going on. Yep, and just like that, it's not going to let me change it. I'm stuck with it. That's what it is. What we got in the house tonight? B-Boy 24, Michelle Santiago from Eastern North Carolina. Go back up. I know I missed a bunch of people. The Med J, Brad, Carche 66, Andy Pasta, Bryce Gardner, Aaron Elmore, JC, Heather West Coast, salutations, my guy. Hey, saludos. Rugged, happy Easter, big dog, happy Easter back to you. Shannon Brophy, Cool J's on. Hey, appreciate it. Tony Champion, first live. Thank you for tuning in, Tony. Mario Attorney, happy salute. Okay. Shout out from Boston J. Happy Easter from Steve McGavie. Clark, happy Easter. Mario Turner. JD Sullivan. Okay, everybody's pouring in now. That's a lot. John Lawson said, love this show. Hey, I love what I do, man. Sean Blue, sup, Blue Jays in the house. Damn, there's a whole lot. It happened so fast. Only thing I don't like about StreamYard is I can't turn on slow-mo mode. Big Chill Will in the house, man. Show Chill Will some love. Big salute to Chill Will. Jay Williams in the building. Smash that like button, everybody. Hey, if you look on the screen, if you don't know what the like button is, it's either a thumb up or a thumb down. You hit the one you feel is appropriate, but I'd appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up. I get a very, very good like to dislike ratio. Believe it or not, my videos are over 99% when it comes to likes. Now I got a couple guys out there that don't like me. Everybody's got those type of guys. So they're always going to go and just hit the dislike button. But you know what? Even in hitting the dislike button, you just help me because it just pushes me in the algorithm. But 99 or better that's very, very good when it comes to a like ratio. So I'm not complaining. So I've been getting a lot of comments, right? And I'm not even getting into the topic because it's pointless about like the podcasting and what I choose to speak on when it comes to podcasting. Let me reiterate this, right? I need to make this clear to y'all. I don't do drama. Drama, it takes two. Drama is when it's two people going back and forth, two people arguing. I'm not the arguing guy. I would not get on here, make a fool of myself, and argue with somebody that I'm never gonna see. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna stress myself or even just subject y'all to that. Not my thing, man. I'm not gonna do it. So y'all don't have to worry about drama. But as far as like a voicing my opinion goes, I have the right to voice my opinion. If I see something I think it's not right, I have the right to speak on it. If people are constantly asking me to go on a platform, and I know I'm not going to go on the platform, and I have a reason as to why I'm not going to go on the platform, then of course I'm going to speak on it. And even with podcasting, I've got to speak. I can't podcast and not speak on current subjects or trending topics or things that are going on in the world. It's impossible to podcast and not talk about it. I can't podcast and just tell stories of prison. If I'm doing that, I'm not podcasting. That's just what I do with my regular content. So keep in mind, you have Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. That is my actual channel. That is my prison content. That is what a lot of people have come to love and know me for. Then you've got Tell the Truth Podcasting, Tell the Truth Productions, which is the podcast in a whole. That's me podcasting, where I've got several different guys I deal with. I've got guys that I'm going to be dealing with here in the future. It's a podcast. The construction. Let me go ahead and give y'all this great news. The construction is coming to an end. I have 2 houses that I'm just about done with, and my investors are trying to dump more houses on me. I don't want them. I don't want any more houses. What I want to happen, and this is the plan for the show, I want you to every single morning at 10 a.m. know that I will be live. So if you're on the West Coast and you're driving to work at 7 a.m., hey, throw me on. There I am. If you're on the East Coast and you're at work, throw them earbuds on. There I am. But Monday through Fridays, it will be 10 a.m. in the morning to 11 a.m. I will be live. Then I'll be again live in the evenings from 5 to 6. And then I'll drop my daily episodes. I've got a lot of awesome interviews coming up with guys that I've sat down and kicked it with. I got a couple flights I have to catch here soon to go out and link up with some other people. There's a lot of names y'all have been mentioning that y'all been saying, Jay, you got to get up with da 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 da. Well, I've always been known to give the people what they want. I'll go do my digging on who the person is, and if I like the personality, there's no bad charges there, and it's somebody I could see myself clicking with, then I'll do it. And thus far, everything y'all suggested, I agree with. So there's a lot to come. I'm excited. So you got to understand that with the podcasting, that is an extension of what I already do. If I'm taking social media as a career, as a full time job, and I'm letting the construction go, then I've got to be way more consistent. I've got to give you a lot more of what I already give you in order for this to work. I can't just post 1 or 2 videos a week and think that's what's going to um, you know, be my claim to fame. That's going to be my retirement. That's going to be a full time job. No, a full time job is a full time job. It's day in and day out. Now, YouTube in itself, people would say is not a job. I will argue that. There's a lot that goes into it. You may not think so because all you see is a 30, 45-minute video. You don't see what goes into making that video. You don't see the beforehand, the during process, the editing process, the uploading process, the thumbnail process, the verification process, the going through the checks process, monitor. I mean, it's a lot that goes into it. And if you're not good at what you do, you won't make it in this game. So it is a job. You're not just going to go out and go start a job tomorrow that you're no good at. You're not going to make it in that field. So this is 100% a job. Otherwise, Google wouldn't be cutting these checks. They're not cutting checks to guys that don't produce. So the construction is coming to an end. Unfortunately, I don't know if y'all caught this, but I touched on it in another video. They will not, and I repeat, they will not give me a license to own a tow truck company here in the state of Virginia with my felony background. Will not happen. Now, people have said I could put it in somebody else's name and do. I'm not going to do all that. If I can't have it and I can't run it the way I should, and I can't be the owner and operator, I'm not one of those guys that's going to go put his company in his wife's name. It's not that's not me. Like, you own a company. Well, right here says your wife owns a company. You work. No, if I can't do it, like, there's liability that comes with owning a company. There's so much that can go right and so much that can go wrong. And I wouldn't want somebody to just sign a paper and then something go bad and it fall on them. At that point, I can't step up and be like, wait, 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 but it's me. They're gonna be like, no, you don't own it. It's her or it's him. So the dreams of running the tow truck company, I think that's dead. And I think it's the gift and the curse. I wanted to do it, so it let me down. But it's it's a gift because once I would have got into that, I wouldn't stop until I had seen it already all the way through. So it would put me at another, who knows, 10, 15, 20, maybe till the day I die, pushing these tow trucks and towing cars and repos. And so in not being able to get that license, in a sense, it freed me. Now I'm able to actually be here, man. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to Ethan and Jericho out in New Mexico, Bonjo. Thank y'all for the shirts. Awesome, man. They sent me some awesome shirts. So I do appreciate that. Let me get back into the comments real quick. Big Chill Will right here said, come to Dallas, bro. Lodge in a vehicle taken care of. I will. 100%. Coming west here soon. I've got to go out to New Mexico to tap in with the family. So we'll be out Los Lunas, Las Cruces, Albuquerque, and we come through Texas each time. I got a homeboy out here, Herb, that moved out to Texas that I stop out and see each time I go out there. So, hey, I 100% stop by. I see you, chill. Well, you've always been very supportive, always been somebody I could talk to in my moments of confusion and chaos. So, hey, that's a lot. Let me go ahead and jump back into the comments. Broken Home Podcast in here. If y'all have not checked out the interview with Broken Home Podcast, please go do so. And let me say thank you to the guys over there for having me on. It was a great interview. It was needed for me. It's very therapeutic. And I told myself, I said the next time I do an interview, I'm gonna do something I haven't done before. And that's get into more of my childhood, the things that people really don't know about me. And I wanted to do that for a lot of reasons. A, I needed to get it out there and get it off my chest. And B, I think that that's something that a lot of children deal with. We just kind of act like it's not going on because you don't hear it, but it happens in the household. A lot of kids are mistreated, and I know what it is to feel alone and like I'm the only one. And I'm here to tell you you're not, you know. And to the kids that there's a difference between your parents disciplining you and your parents abusing you. There's a big, big difference. That's not a thin line. There's a big difference. Not like like I said, it's not a thin line. So it gets better. And one of the things I got from that podcast that I had never thought about is I regretted not saying something. I was always like told that, you don't snitch, you don't tell. If you're a child and you're being hurt, you need to tell someone. That's not snitching. If there's an adult that is hurting you, like hurting you, not your mommy patting you on your butt or your dad, you know, patting you on your butt, but somebody actually hurting you, you need to reach out, let somebody know. Whether it be a school counselor, a teacher, a principal, a police officer, whoever it may be. There's nothing wrong with stopping somebody from hurting a child. And anybody that says that's snitching or oh you can't do that, you can miss me with all that. You can stop watching me altogether. On the day that protecting a child becomes telling, or a child going to someone to seek help that becomes telling, we're on two different pages there. We'll smash out a dude that hurts a child, but at the same time, it's wrong if a child goes and looks for help. No, I don't agree. And Big Chill was killing the night, man. Michael's Auto Repair, much love and respect to you and your family, bro. Hey, thank you from Michael's Auto Repair. Hey, and big salute, man. Back into the comments. Mario Turner said, Happy Easter to you and your family. Hey, happy Easter to you and yours too. The Med J said, Philly 215 in the house. Shout out to 215 in the house. Adam Chewy in here. Big salute to Adam Chewy. Adam Chewy he's I don't want to call him my writer, but we've become friends over the past year. And he's been working on a series that just finished up that we're going to be shopping around to different networks that's loosely based on my life and events in my life. He's a great writer. He's put a lot of work into what he's been doing. He's out of Pennsylvania, and so that's something else I look forward to. I'm also getting into this whole book writing process of trying to like break my life down. And I took Joe Baker. Big shout out to Okay, so boom to Joe Baker, man. And I heard him tell somebody. He said the best way for him to write a book was just to pick up a voice recorder and just start talking into it. He's like, and then when you're done, there's your book. So I kind of took his advice, and that's much easier than just sitting down and typing or sitting down and writing. Just pick it up one day and just start talking. And when you're done talking, put it down, and then remember where you left off at. Pick up and start talking. It's just more authentic that way to me. Let me see what somebody had to say. I just seen it. I missed it. Apoya Miss McCoy Loco said drama like a sitch, not needed. Yeah, hey, absolutely. I'm drama free. I'm not with the drama. I'm not the go back and forth type of guy. Never have been. Like I was taught you don't argue, man. You know what happens to the guy that stands there and argues or like just likes to run his mouth and likes to try to get his point across? He usually gets punched. So I've learned a long time ago not to argue. So I don't do the drama. New Age plug in the house. Sorry for missing anybody. Kicking it with chaos. A big salute. Big salute to New Age. Let me go back. We got Anna in here. We got everybody in here, man. Y'all always show a lot of love. Miss Thing is in the house. One of the moderators. I appreciate you. Broken Home. But I didn't miss anybody. I'm trying to scroll back. The chat is moving fast, and all I can do is try to keep up. My guy, Breadwinner Ruger in the house. Big salute to Breadwinner Ruger, man. Good guy, good father, good human being, man. We need more people like him. This is when I need somebody like to sit off to the side and like, read me the comments. Southside Frog in the house, my homeboy, man. The champ is here. That is my guy. Thought you was coming by today, man, to come fishing. We wasn't doing. We was with the kids anyway. We had Easter eggs. Had my little grandson Saint over. He had a good time. Hood Billy in here. Y'all check out Hood Billy Jack, man, my boy, man. That's my dude. Been talking with him a lot lately. Glad to have met him. If y'all wondering what I'm doing, I'm scrolling. So many comments. So it just comes so fast. I end up having to scroll to the bottom. Michael's Auto Repair. Hey man, big salute and thank you, man. Happy Easter to you and your family, bro. Blessings to you and your family, bro. That's man. Thank you. Y'all don't know, like the donations they go very far. I've um I've been putting all my focus on the construction. I have, and that's because I want to get out. So every day that I take off or every hour that I miss on the construction site is one more hour I'm going to have to spend on the construction site. So I'm working really hard to get it wrapped up and get it done. My lease on the warehouse is coming to an end this, I believe, June, at which point I'm going to go ahead and shut that down and let it go. The warehouse is super expensive. It's an unneeded um it's just completely unneeded. It's an unneeded expense. And even if I was to keep it to try, I could podcast out of it. I could use it to do interviews, but there's a machine shop on the backside and it makes a whole lot of noise. And then with having guests on, people like to drink, people like to smoke, they like to do what they do. And if you're up in there just smoking blunts and doing all this and making noise, well then I've got neighbors behind me, other businesses running around me who probably aren't going to be too happy that just smoke is rolling in as they're trying to conduct business with customers. So it doesn't serve a purpose there. Also, it's a warehouse. And so it's a gravel parking lot. People drive nice cars. Ain't nobody trying to drive through that gravel in a car they just got detailed and get it all dusty. Like, nah. He said, B, all right, Chill Will said, Bill Feezy in the building. He just sent a donation. Where's my guy Feezy at? I didn't see that. And I need to go back and catch my guy Fees. Michael's auto. There he goes. Bill Feezy. That is my guy, man. Much love to Bill. Talk with Bill the other day. If y'all have not checked out Bill Feezy, you make sure you go check out Bill Feezy and subscribe, man. Great, great human being. There. Another person that I will 100% vouch for. And thank you again, Chill Will, man. Thank you for letting me see that. StreamYard is different than just regular YouTube. Like, it shows you what you want. And y'all see what y'all see on y'all side, but on my side, it's like the Matrix. Like it's just messages just falling down the screen, man. He said, "What the Feezy?" Yeah. Hey man, Bill Feezy is contagious. He's contagious. Somebody else I just got into to checking out today that people been mentioning is JD Delay. And shout out and salute to JD Delay. I went and I caught some of his content. I'm like, yo, how did I miss this dude, man? Like, if I've been so caught up with just my circle of people I talk to on YouTube or I watch and work that I didn't know who JD Delay is. So I peeped him out. Love his content. I think y'all should go check him out, and y'all can definitely expect to see me and JD doing something here soon. So I'm not gonna say too much, just enough to let y'all know that you sometimes you get what you ask for. H Brown, how's the shop coming along, Jay? Which shop? You talking about as far as the towing? I talked on that earlier. They won't give me a towing license. AC Brown, when my kids grow up, I'm gonna show them your stories and Boo Baker and hope that it deters them from being in that life. That's basically what it's about. I started doing this more or less because it was therapeutic. And then I started to see that I was reaching people. Like I was really reaching people. And then I seen that people had start making different choices than they would have based off of videos I made. So I do hope that that this could be something to help your kids. I know that it helps people. That I'm 100% confident in. Like, I've had conversations with people that were talking about taking their own lives, people that were talking about taking other people's lives, people that were ready to put masks on and pick the ratchets up to go pay the bills. And I mean, in several situations, I guess in a sense, I've talked people off the ledge. I've talked people out of throwing their lives away. Because you got to remember, whatever you're going through, it's only for the moment. You know what I mean? Like if you're on the verge of being evicted or the lights are being cut off, okay, that's going to happen if that's what it's going to be. But life continues. You're going to look back on that one day and be like, damn, remember when we got evicted or the lights got cut off? It's never, it's never to the point that you need to take yourself up out of here, go do something crazy. Because once you get locked up, well, you've left everybody else now to deal with the fact that you've been evicted and the lights are cut off. Because you'll get away with crime for a little bit. Some people get caught their first time. You know what I mean? Remember I tell y'all this, as a criminal, you have to get lucky every single time. The cops only have to get lucky once. So you will eventually get caught. So think about the people around you before you go do something stupid. You call yourself fixing a situation. You go out there and rob somebody and you get caught. All you've done is destroy everything around you. You're gonna hurt people. You're gonna become a burden on the ones that love you. You know, and when you're hitting them up, hey man, I need to borrow some money, or commissary's messed up right now. Help me out, man. Like, don't do that. Don't figure it out. Go without. Go through the struggle. Pick up 2 jobs. Work at 7-Eleven and Wendy's if that's what it takes. But that crime, once they shut that door, man, my words gonna ring in your head. You done messed up. Ain't no apologizing. It ain't no apologizing. When they lock you up, you cannot say I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Look, I'm dead wrong. Just let me go. No, 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 no. It's over. Vince Spooky said, AJ, you need to check out Jessica Kent. Her story is fire. I've watched some of Jessica Kent stuff, and she seems to be helping people too. And big salute to her as well. She is definitely I think she's probably one of the lead females in this genre in the game. She's killing it. She's killing it. Big salute, man. Frog, man, that's my guy. He said I was gonna commit mass, but then I caught a Let's Live Life podcast. And now I'm coloring with joy. The best part, I'm still here. Crayons help. I've known I met Frog in 92 or 93, man. Frog was he's been around a long time. He was around when my dad was still here. He was around in the Meadowdale days when I lived out them apartments. A lot of the stories I've spoken on the streets, he was around. Like he could sit down with me sometimes, and we could tell y'all some crazy, crazy stories. He was around for the Tyrone Street days, the Lynn Haven days, Lafayette days, the Masonette days. Like he's been there with me, man. Michael's auto repair said, "That's right, Jay. You can't take it back. You can't. Once you mess up, that's it." When I'm telling you, I've met people. I've legitly met people that got locked up for the first time and never got to go home. That's a true statement. Like guys that had never ever been in trouble. I met a guy that blacked out drunk one night, right? And he woke up the next morning and he was covered in, y'all already know. There was red stuff everywhere, and he was disoriented. He said the last thing he remembered was arguing with his wife, sitting in the driveway, drinking a bottle of liquor, and he was listening to music, and that's when he blacked out. When he came to the following morning, um, there was stuff everywhere, and he went in the back bedroom, and his wife she had been relieved of her life, and he did it. And this is a guy that had a career. Kids sleep in the other room, and they sentenced him to life. And to this day, he doesn't. He says he doesn't remember any of it. Chill, Will. Big salute once again, man. He says, smash that like button, subscribe. Subscribe if you're not already. Most of the chat is not subscribed. It's free. Hey, y'all subscribe. What do y'all think? Because I got 300,000 subscribers that like I don't need more. I would love to get to 1 million, and it all helps. I've never asked anybody to donate to do any of that. That is at your free will. If you got it like that, hey, I love you. Thank you. And if you ain't got it like that, hey, I love you. Thank you. But the subscription, like Subscribing is free. I don't even do a members page. Y'all know that's crazy. I'm one of the few YouTubers that does not do a members page. Maybe I will one day. I just don't feel like that. I should you should be able to get more from me because you have money. And that's not a shot at anybody that has a members page. This is a business. You know what I mean? You have to run a business. There's if this is your job, that's how you make your money. I don't personally do a members page. And maybe it's because I have the construction to fall back on. So I've got that extra revenue. Who knows? Maybe one day I will. I just have never felt like, okay, because you paid this, you get extra. And like I said, I'm not knocking it. There may be a day and time where I'm like, man, I gotta have that. I need every dollar I can get. I ain't got the construction no more. It's strictly social media. Now I got 8 member pages, but at the moment, I don't need that. So I thank y'all for everything that y'all do, man. Baby said been subscribed since the COVID days. Yeah, well, I didn't I'm gonna say this, man. COVID didn't hurt me. With my company, we strive throughout COVID. And I think COVID had a lot to do with me taking off on YouTube because people were watching at a record rate. There was a lot of people sitting at home, a lot of people not having anything to do. So a lot of people watched a lot more YouTube. It just so happened that in them days I was pumping 5 videos a week, sometimes 7. And who knew? Who knew it would take off? Little old me would just go from just being a guy that was making videos to becoming someone's favorite YouTuber. I didn't foresee that. I knew something was gonna happen because anytime I've like done something in life, something came of it, whether it be good or bad, something always came of it. I just didn't know what it would be. Strictly business outdoors. How far y'all do jobs? What surrounding cities? I try to keep it within an hour. I'm not really pressed. I don't somebody asked me the other day if I have business cards or if I do any of that. No, I don't do no promoting, I don't do no advertising, I don't take on no new investors. I've had people like offer me way more than what I currently make. Um, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do this forever. There's no retirement. Like really, as a construction worker, as a business owner, yeah, there's a retirement. You take your money and you invest it, and over the years you save it, you save it, you save it, and that's your retirement. But I'm not one of those guys that if I don't choose to retire, that will ever retire. I don't know when to stop. And I'll just keep going and going and going and going. And I'll be 87 years old, still out there with a tool belt on. I don't want that. So I've got to stop now. I don't know when to quit. I don't know how to quit. And I do know this that if I don't stop doing it, this is going to pass me by. This is 100% going to pass me by. It's like anything, like fresh faces come, new things come, fresh content comes, new creators come along, and people just stop watching. So if I don't take the opportunity while it's here and seize the moment, it will pass. That's why we're expanding with the podcasting over to SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all these different platforms. We're going to push the podcasting, the YouTube episodes. We're going to go from YouTube to Rumble, Twitch, all this different stuff, and just make it be what it should be. Man. Give you all the best version of myself. Could I talk about prison all day, every day? Yeah. Do I want to? No. I want to talk about just so much more, like the stuff that just happened and the unfortunate lives that were taken at that school in Tennessee, and the outstanding officer that's the outstanding job that them officers did, and the way that they took care of that situation, and the way that they just went in and pow pow shut it down. You know what I mean? Like there's so much more I want to talk about. Pop Smoke, the youngin that just got convicted of taking Pop Smoke's life, got 4 years. Like there's just so much to talk about other than just prison. Like the dude, I think it was BTB Savage recently that went on Vlad, talked about his story, and the boys ran up in his house, and then he, posted to Instagram the pictures of him at the scene where he ended up smoking the dude that ran up in his house, and then right after that, he does a Vlad interview and got his life taken. There's so much to talk about. There's so much that I know about that I stay tuned in with that I would hate to just talk about prison forever. I'll always motivate you guys to stay out of trouble. We're always gonna laugh together, go back in time and kick it and tell my stories and relive it. But at the same time, there's got to be growth. You have to elevate. Everything in life is about leveling up. And if you don't realize that by now, you eventually will. You have to constantly level up. I've constantly got to outdo myself. As far as YouTube goes, I have no competition. That's just only YouTubers will understand that. I have no competition. What the next guy does doesn't affect me at all. His numbers, how many people watches him, how many people subscribes, that does not affect me. What affects me is my performance. So that goes back to you have to level up. Hood Billy Jack, man, my boy. But now I'll quit joking. Jay's huge inspiration and shit happening. I'm trying to get back on my car. Shit, get a house, shit like that. Jay done turned shit to sugar the legal way. I'm not gonna argue with that. Me and Bama was talking, man. Me and Hood Billy was talking. We been talking about everything, man, from cars to audio to life. I'm gonna have him on here soon and kind of introduce y'all to him and his story. I did turn shit to sugar, man. I did, and the sad thing is didn't have to ever really be shit. I chose for it to be shit. You know, it could have been sugar from the beginning. I played the victim role. I come from nothing. I ain't never gonna be nothing. Like, look at what's going on around me. Like, I played the victim, but I played a sucker at the same time. Like, I robbed my as I was out there robbing other people, I was robbing myself. I robbed my son, man. That's some sucker shit. Like, taking yourself away from your child, leaving your child to grow up without you. That's some sucker shit. And that's exactly what I did with some sucker shit. Pork Chop Express. Big J, what are your interests, hobbies outside of work and this YouTube gig? I like gaming. Like, I don't game a lot, but I like gaming, like Dead by Daylight, stuff like that. I've actually got a PS5 upstairs that I want to do a giveaway with. I don't really know what to do with it. I don't know how to do the giveaway, and I don't want people to be like, "I ain't win the PS5, so I'm unsubbing." I've taken on fishing. I was never a big fisherman. I was never outdoorsman type. I know how to fish, but I was never that guy. I uh, I enjoy fishing now. Doing stuff around the house. We have a good amount, like a nice sized property, so I enjoy, just doing stuff around here. Enjoy doing stuff with my kids. I enjoy messing with the car audio, souping the vehicles up. Like, I'm big into that. I'm big into the car audio. Like, the things I couldn't do as a teen. Like, ain't nobody got all that money to be dumping into them systems at 15, 16 years old. So we had systems, but we didn't have what I got now. Um, Fashion. I'm big into fashion, the clothing, the shoes, art. Um, that's it, man. Just I'm just your basic guy. It's a good idea. Kim Smith said, "Do it for a charity or something you are passionate about." Jay, I thought about that. I thought about possibly taking it to the hospital and donating it. I know that they have, like, here they've got one floor that's designated to kids with cancer, which is terrible. And I went there many, many years ago for something, and I remember at this point, it was actually a friend of mine's little brother had cancer, and they had a room, like a little rec room, where the kids played. And this was so far back that the PS2 was a big thing then. And I remember they had a PS2 in there. Man, this is probably 20 years ago. So I've thought about just taking it up there and be like, "Hey, I'd like to donate this to, like, the kids' room," but I don't know if they got one. But whatever. I don't know why I bought it. We've already got 2 PlayStation 5s, and I was actually stopping by Office Max the other day to grab some Sharpies to sign some hats for one of the subs. And so I was passing GameStop and something told me to stop in. I stopped in, no plans of buying anything. I ended up buying the PS5 and I brought it home. And my wife's like, "What's that for?" And I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "What do you mean you don't know? You just bought a PS5 and you don't know what it's for?" I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "Well, what are you gonna do with it?" And I said, "I don't know." Like, you ever done something like that? You do something and you don't know why you did it. And that's kind of what it's been. It's just been sitting upstairs, um, and just sitting upstairs on the counter for like the last 2 weeks with the receipt on top of the box. And I'll eventually figure out what I'm supposed to do with it. Somebody needs it. Somebody deserves it, and it's gonna Makes somebody very happy. I just don't know how to go about doing that without pissing other people off. Anytime you help one person, like you make somebody else mad. Try to catch back into y'all's comments. Anacob, those things are expensive. Did you think at the Tom Ford perfume cologne? Did you like it? Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. Talking about the red bottle. I think I showed that. Yeah, it's awesome. I do the colognes too. It's another thing I'm big into is smelling nice. Homeless in America said this blows. I need a new alternator. Hey man, I've been there. Papa Sandler said, Jay, what's up with Lockdown 23 and 1? You guys are from the same places and was in Greensville. Would you ever do a collaboration with him? Absolutely. I've talked to Josh before, man. We linked up. Unfortunately, when I was at the beach and we linked up was at the very end of my stay. Like I was loading the truck up, loading luggage and suitcases, and he pulled up on me real quick and we stood and talked for a minute until the valet drivers got all stupid. Hey, you need to move that vehicle. Like, come on, man. You see us talking. Like, and I'm in a Hummer and he's in another big SUV. So we linked and they were able to talk for a minute. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely linked with Josh. I told you I've got one of those memories, just one of those dumb memories, man. It's terrible at times. And I didn't even know I knew him until he showed his tattoos, and I seen the picture, the tattoo of the two guns on his back. And when I seen those two tattoos, I remembered instantly seeing him down on 9 Buildings Yard and the two guys he was walking with at the time. But we never kicked it in prison. We were on two separate yards. And I said, Jay, you know you got it for a reason. I know I got it for a reason. I just don't know what that reason is yet. I don't. But I will. I will in due time. Racing Girl 63 said, do a raffle and donate the money. Yeah. I just I'm not yeah, we could do that. Just I don't like the way people talk, man. People, oh, you took this or you took that, or people are quick to try to make it seem like you did something grimy when it comes to money. So I try to stay away from anything that requests the money or raffling money because people are just crudballs. Even when I got hacked, I had other channels like rallying for me, donate. I wouldn't take any donations. Like I never posted a cash app. I never said help me. I'm just pride is a terrible thing, man. I came out the mud like I'm that concrete that rose that grew from the concrete, and I never asked for help. And to this day, I have a very very hard time asking people for help. Like I'm the guy that's battery will go dead in his truck that will walk 5 miles to get a pair of jumper cables before I ask somebody else in the parking lot for help. But at the same time, I'm also the guy that wants to help everybody that won't ask for help. Mark Vince Brown, you say you have the best hat game I've seen. The hat game is redonkulous. New life with Woody, my guy in here. Jay, you get the pics of my house that I sent you. I have turned my notifications have been off and on most of the day, Woody. So I'll definitely check you out. That is my homeboy, Woody Wood. What's going on with you, Woody? No, I'll definitely check you out. But with it being Easter, man, we did this big Easter egg hunt. Had all the kids here, so I just turned the phone off and stepped away from it for a while. Because if not, I'll be distracted. You know how it goes. You're supposed to be doing one thing, but you got the phone in your hand doing something completely different. So with it being Easter, I really want to give them my time. But no, I'm gonna check you out. New Life of Woody said your upstairs bathroom is full of them lots of different, great smelling, expensive colognes. Yeah, I do have a lot of cologne. My wife's perfume game shuts my cologne down though. She's got some of the, like some perfume that other people will go to spray. She'd be like, "No, you can't. No, you don't spray that. Sniff the cap. Like, don't spray that." You know how much that costs? Seth Madsen said, "What, Jay? What you know about that Lisa State soap? Hey, man, that stuff is good. That stuff's great for washing laundry. Don't wash your skin with it though. That stuff will change you. That should have turned you into Michael Jackson. That shit will change you from a black man to a white man. They stopped giving out Lisa. I remember when they used to have that every now and then they give out that bar Lisa that smelled like almost like lime, like lemon. But y'all don't know what he's talking about. They give you the state soap that says Lisa on it. Like the bar says Lisa. And the only thing is really, I got to do a video on this. We make graters. We make like almost like a cheese grater at the bottom of a soda can. And you could take a bar of soap and grate it up and use it as like washing powder. That's the only thing. Lisa's good for like cleaning the toilet bowl, the sink, your clothes, but not washing your skin with. Homeless in America said, I live in my car, so it's my home. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I know a chick, man, that actually she had dreams of buying a house. This 100% true story. She had dreams of buying a house and she couldn't get the loan from the bank. She was going through all these different things. She lived in her car for years, like several years, and saved up all her money and then went and bought a house. That's determination. Like at any given moment, she could have gave in. She had all this money she had saved. She could have went and got a hotel room for the night. And she didn't. She had a gym membership. She would wash, shower at the gym. But that was it, man. She had the basic essentials. I think the only thing she really treated herself to was that gym membership. But she stayed in her car for years, saved up, and actually bought a house. So you gotta start somewhere. You know what I mean? And just the fact that you got a car to sleep in and a car to get around in, you're doing better than a lot of people, man. TJ Shelton said JTBP, Team Banky Pound. That is my guy, man. Much love. Big love to Banky, man. Banky's another guy that if y'all have not checked out Banky Pound, go check out Team Banky Pound and Banky Pound on YouTube, man. Truly an inspirational guy with a great story, a great soul, and he 100% is where he needs to be, which is home. And me and Banky are going to do some things coming up soon. I want to say this out loud in case he's watching or anybody can relay the message. The only reason I haven't linked up with Banky yet, as far as the podcasting goes, is because some of the topics I've touched on, I wouldn't want my my views to be misconstrued for his. I wouldn't want somebody to say, well, Jay said this and drag Banky into anything that I've said. We're two different people with two different points of views. And I wouldn't want my message to be confused with his or something. I mean, if I say it, I stand on it. But I don't want somebody to be like, well, Jay said this, Banky, and you be rocking with him. Like, nah, I don't want him to have no blowback on things that come out of my mouth. I'm fully aware of what I say. I got a pretty high IQ. I think about things before I say them. My impulse control is pretty in check. So that's the only reason I haven't. I actually want to do a thing with I want to get up with 16 in life, Banky, AZ Ruction, and I want the four of us to debate the politics in prison West Coast compared to East Coast. Because as we know, there's a big difference in the way the West runs and the East runs. And I want to kind of break down why things, as far as I know, run the way they run on the East and let them break down why things run the way they run on the West. But at the end of the day, you need to understand this. None of us, not one of us, are responsible for any of the politics. They're not responsible for how things go out West, just like we're not responsible for how things go out East. You politic according to where you're at. Like I politic here a certain way because I got locked up here. If I was to go out in Cali and get locked up, I'm going to politic. When I mean politic, that means I'm going to bid according to how they do their time out in Cali. But I'm still going to be Jay no matter where I go. Homeless in America, that's crazy. He said you can't park in Walmart in my city. Let's just say it's a bad area. How long you been homeless, man? How long you been in your car? I spent many nights in my car, man. Back when I was drinking, that's why I'd always get bigger vehicles. Like I've always had like a SUV or something that the seats could fold down and you could lay all the way back in. But it's not. I've been confined too long. It's not something I would want to do. But the fact that keep in mind, man, you gotta always find the gift in it. There's somebody ain't got a car. There's somebody's gonna sleep on their bridge tonight or on a park bench that's trying to save up to get a car. David Cox said a roof is a roof. True indeed. I've been homeless for 4 years, but had this car just over a year. So you already know then. You already know. Think back to what it was to be homeless without a car. Papa Samuel said, Jay, I'm really enjoying your channel. Also, Jay Williams, I'm living life. Is awesome. I'm glad you're going to be devoted to your channels, and I can't wait. I get excited with every video that pops up. Yeah, I'm dropping part two to the to the Sort video. If y'all didn't check that out, go check that. And Sort was the um, sex offender residential treatment program that they brought into the prison, where they required all the guys with bad charges to start going to these classes. And I don't think they thought this through very well. Like, you had guys that we didn't know had bad charges. You had guys that had been lying for a very long time. And the counselors in the prison went through everybody's paperwork and found out everybody that had a no charge, everybody that had violated somebody, and put them on this list to go to these classes. And it was a bad month. It was a bad month, man, because the way we do it out here is if you ain't got life, you're not about to. There's not many guys that are gonna throw their life away over that piece of garbage. Like, you've got a release date, you can see a light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't matter who you take out. You can take out the world's biggest piece of shit, a guy that has violated 700 kids, and they're still gonna treat you like you took out the nicest guy in the world. Like, the prisons don't discriminate. You will go straight to death row for taking the life of another inmate. They will treat it the same as if you took a life of a guard. It's not like when you go in court, you say, well, he violated children. They don't care. All they're going to look at is it's murder in the first. They're going to, take you up out of here. But the basic rule out here is you can't sell up with me. You can't live with me. I'm never going to talk to you. Don't ever in your lifetime talk to me. And anybody that does talk to you is also no good. Now, you got some guys out here that are like, truly hunt them dudes down, that they're never going home. A death penalty case for them would be the best case scenario. That means they don't have to do another 40 years in here. So them guys hide. They hide. And in the moment that they're discovered, it's usually bad. And they do allow them to stay on the yard for a lot of different reasons. Somebody's extorting them. Somebody's making him pay rent. Somebody's eating his commissary. Somebody's just doing him all the way bad. And if you were to do something to make it to where he's taken off the yard or he PCs up, well, you just took somebody's bag. So if y'all think that they're just like walking around and having a good time, that's not what's going on. They're allowed to stay around because they are a paycheck. Somebody survives off of that man. And then you've got some guys that just use them as y'all already know. Some of these guys are just getting turned all the way out. And guys ain't gonna have you. No, you ain't about to do nothing to him. No, she's mine. Yeah, I said it. She's mine. So to think that they're just on the East Coast running around in general population like everything's okay, that's a lie. That's not how it's going. But they serve a purpose, whether it be to be extorted, to pay rent, to clean underwear, to just be a whole entire servant. They serve a purpose. And me personally, you can't sell up with me. Like, at the moment that I find out that you got those type of charges, you've got to get out the cell. And if you choose to stay in the cell, in the moment they shut the door, it's going to be bad. And I can promise you by the time they open the door again, you're not going to want to be in the cell with me no more. So I want to get into it with them as far as the whole East versus West when it comes to the politics. I think it'll be a great video, and I think it'll also be good to show what racism is and what racism isn't. People have a big misconception of what racism is when it comes to prison because of organizations and gangs and things that people join, when in reality they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, we got Ronnie Blue Eyes, the Boston boss in the house. Man, big salute to you. I'm going back and catching some of these comments real quick. See this comment right here? Kegistan 90. Subscribe for a while. Definitely inspired me to do it better for me and my two boys. Been working 12s nonstop the past few months. Do that. When y'all ask me, like, I get this a bunch too, because I'm a workaholic at times. My guys will go home after they've done their 8 hours, and I'll work another 8 hours. And people will be like, man, you ain't got to do that. Why do you do that? Because that extra that I do is what allows me to do the extra that I do. Like if you just make enough to get by, that's all you're gonna do. Sometimes those 10s, 12s, and 16s, they're required to get you above water. Like just doing the basic minimum is gonna get you that. Doing the extra is what's gonna get you out of the red and into a better life. So I salute you. You keep doing what you're doing, man. You won't have to. You won't have to always work on 12s. But working on 12s is going to get you to a position to where you can live comfortable, man. And if you're in debt, it'll get you out of debt. If you're behind on bills, it'll get your bills caught up and then you can go back to work in your 8. Or you can just keep working on 12s and take that extra 4 hours and put that in a bank account somewhere as a savings. And in 10, 20 years from now, really have a nice chunk of change. Listen to what I said. That's good advice right there. I take any extra little thing I got and put it to the side. If I don't need it and it doesn't serve a purpose, save it. Throw in the savings. Let it build interest. Let it just sit there. Forget it exists. Like how many people can say they still got money from 5, 6 years ago that they got the same $100 bill or $20 bill from 5, 6 years ago? Not a lot of people. Kicking it with Chaos 757 all day. Much love to the 757. Homeless in America said, I'm alive, David. I ain't here to beg in Jay's chat. I got my own channel, so I never ask for help in other people's chats. That is true. And Homeless in America is he's been around for a while. He's always supported the channel and he's honest in what he's got going on. A lot of people can't do that. There's a lot of people that's doing way worse than him right now that'll swear to God they're not. So I salute him in his honesty, man. It's not always easy to say I'm doing bad. You know, a lot of people ain't doing bad, and they'll say they're doing bad just to take advantage of the next person, or to get a donation to get high. Like I salute him in the fact that he can admit it. You know, Miss Thing said, "Mama Ruger's in here. Much love and respect. Much love and respect to Mama Ruger, man." Well, Woody Wood said, "New Life of Woody." If y'all haven't checked out New Life of Woody, Woody is my old cellmate. Me and Woody were cellmates. He was my last cellmate at Greensville before I transferred to Indian Creek. He said, "I feel y'all pain. I work 8 and come home and work till 1, 2, 3 in the morning, especially the last 2 weeks to get my house done." For y'all that don't know, Woody's mother passed away while he was incarcerated on a 25-year sentence, and her dream was to have the nice house with the picket fence, to have the house restored. He came home. Unfortunately, his mom was not here, and he's been dedicating all his time to making his mom's dream, his 2 dreams come true. One was to become the man that she always envisioned him to be, which he's done that, and to make this house into what she envisioned it. And what he sends me pictures of all the time of the upgrades he's done, the work he's put in. And I can say this, she'd be proud of you, Woody. I know she's proud of you. AC Brown, listen to this. Let's check this. He said, I had a homie, went in, did 7 years, came out with the 2 lightning bolt tattoos. He seems cool, but is it do what you got to do kind of thing, or should I leave him alone? Depends on where he did his time at. Because that's not necessary. The lightning bolt things is not necessary. Second is the loser. A. Thank you. Big salute, man. I don't know how I didn't see that, but big salute and thank you. When it comes to the bolts and things like that, a lot of that is, you know, it's out of my ability to speak on. I'm not going to speak on what guys have to do out west or what guys do out west. I know this. I've seen it here on the East Coast, and it was by choice. When guys get into the racist organizations and stuff like that, it's not by force. It's by choice. Now, like I said, I can only speak for here. I can't speak for out on the West Coast to sit here and say that, oh, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. I ain't never been there. So I can't say. I will say this from what I've seen in this state, um, them guys didn't do well. When the AB came in and they tried to establish themselves here in Virginia, it didn't go over very well. It didn't. It seemed like anytime somebody else stepped up to them, they wouldn't handle that, but they would beat each other up real quick, and nobody else respected that. And not to mention, like 90% of them at this moment, I'm not speaking on now, but in that moment, in the time I was there, 90% of them were getting high. So it's hard to respect a gang when 90% of the gang is slumped or strung out or chasing drugs on the yard. Ain't nobody really respecting that. Like, y'all, what are y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna go to war? Like, well, you might want to go wake the dudes up that are nodded out in the corner because it don't seem like y'all are doing much of nothing. DJ Nick and Mateo, hey, big salute and thank you, man. Aaron Hill said, yo, Woody, you got to sub for me. I watch UJ and Banky Pound consistently. Hey, appreciate that, Aaron Hill. Woody is good people. Woody was one of my favorite subs, man. It's not favorite subs. He was one of my favorite cellmates. Not a lot of people you're gonna miss when you leave prison, but when they told me I had to pack up and I was being transferred, man, I knew I was gonna miss Woody. We got on each other's nerves sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. But that just comes from living in a concrete box with somebody. You can pick your favorite person in the world and y'all go live in a concrete box together. And after a while, you're gonna regret moving that person in there. Like I would rather live in a cell with a complete stranger than live in a cell with a friend, if that makes sense. Because if I fall out with a stranger, I lost nothing. But then, when you fall out with a friend, you lose a friend. But we did become friends over the years and friends to this day. It's my guy, man. Thomas Lewick said the AEB. Yeah, I never got down with that, man. It just wasn't my thing. They tried and failed miserably. I remember when a dude from out west showed up. I think I told the story. A dude from out west showed up and he checked him. Like he really checked him and was slapping them around and making them cover their tattoos up because nothing they just they legitly just woke up one day and was like, hey, this is what we are. They hadn't chapped in with no real hitters, no real gangsters, no real chapter, and just decided one day that yeah, I run this and this is what we are. And this dude showed up and was I'm talking about he was trashing these dudes, man. I'm trying to catch all y'all's comments. Sorry if I miss you. There's a lot. I'm trying to go back up, catch something real quick. Y'all give me a second. I'm looking and I do not see it. Yeah, I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. Sorry, y'all. I caught a comment that I needed to kind of go look into, and I didn't see a comment prior to that one, so I don't know what it was in reference to. But I hope all y'all had a good day, man. We had a great day. Watching the kids play is always a good thing. Having I've got a stepdaughter from my wife's. It's her daughter, and I've been more or less her dad since I got out, since day one. So she's like my kid, and she's got a little boy named Saint, and Saint was here today running around. So I had all three of the kids, my kid, and then the little girl Bella that we adopted, and then Saint, and it's a good thing, man. I never realized how much I loved kids until I had to be around them daily. And I think what I do with me and my children is I live my youth, like the youth I don't have anymore, or the childhood I didn't have. I live that through the kids. You know what I mean? Like my wife will ask me why are you rewarding him? He's been bad. He's spoiled. And it's not really so much that I'm rewarding my son. it's more of a reward to me, if that makes sense. Like when I buy him something nice or I get him something, it's almost like I'm buying it for me, or I would have bought it for myself. So days like today were beautiful. We took a bunch of pictures and just let the kids be kids. Like they ate so much candy. You ever seen kids eat candy and just start twitching, just touching things, just anything they can just I looked over and all three of the kids were just like twitching and convulsing. I'm like, all right, give me the candy. Give me the candy, give me the candy before somebody gets hurt. Lord Neville said, "Hey Jay, what's the spiderweb tattoos on the elbows mean? Is there a difference meaning if they are on the chest?" Thanks lots from this Canadian gal. It's different everywhere. Some places it can signify the amount of time somebody's done. Like it varies from state to state. I know out here, it really holds no significance. I've seen black dudes, white dudes with spiderweb tattoos, and then I've seen white guys come here from other states that would say they had a completely different meaning. But I'm gonna say this: it's different everywhere. Um, you know, I had a maintenance. Like, look, I had a boss in the maintenance shop one time who actually owned an electrical company on the streets, right? So we had these maintenance carts we would push through the prison that had all these tools on it, and it was a big wooden cart. And I come in one day, and because he owned a electrical company, he thought it would be cool to spray paint two silver lightning bolts on the side of the cart, right? And I walked in the maintenance shop, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "What? Don't the cart?" I'm like, "No, no, 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 you can't do that." And he's like, "What you mean I can't do that? It's a like electrician signed the two bolts." I said, "You can't. I'm not pushing that cart, man. You can't do that." Like the man didn't understand that the bolts had a whole different meaning. But yeah, he was ready to have me pushing this cart around the prison with two big old lightning bolts on the side of it. No, not me. I took a black can of spray paint, painted right over it. Sunset said, "How is your friend Mark?" Mark is doing good, man. Mark did his. He went through his treatment. It appears that everything got caught early, and he is now working for himself. He's actually doing good. He knows I'm live, so he continues to blow my phone up because that's what Mark does. Like he was a when he was in prison, he would call me 30 times a day to the point that I would have to block Mark because the phone I couldn't have a conversation with. You would swipe his call away, and he would call 26 more times while I'm like he knows I'm in the middle of something. And now that he's free, he still does the same thing. But he's got Woody to blow up now. So hopefully he hits Woody up. Ina said, AJ, what's your advice, bro? I'm sorry to be asking you. I'd have to go back up and find your comment, and I don't know if I can. By the time you type something, and yeah, I'm trying to catch it. What do you got right? We got LJ Vespatel said, arrive late, happy Easter. Hey, happy Easter, LJ. Regaming. My friends are liking the new Resident Evil. If you haven't already checked it out, TV shows, I record Last of Us, Mayor of Kingstown, and Rabbit Hole will do. And happy Easter, man. TC26 said, I was in Richmond, VA catching a Greyhound in NYC. Tried to talk down the Richmond cats for weed, selling out front, respect the argument, and bought it for what they want. Hey, Richmond's not budging, man. Did you do egg hunting with your son? Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to. That's tradition. We put the eggs all out there, put some money in some of them. Made like special eggs. Like some had tens and ones, and then some had change. But the kids, you can put a $20 bill in it and one egg, and then fill another egg up with like $5 in quarters, and they'll take that one with $5 in quarters all day. Well, we've just come up on the hour mark. It is 10:34. Work comes early, so I'm gonna stay in here a couple more minutes, man. And I'm gonna have to get out of here soon. I have to get up early. My son is on his spring break, so I don't have to take that hour drive to get him to school in the morning, but I still got to take that hour drive to get to work. So turn off them Reese cups. Kim Smith said, "I get it, Jay. My kids have always gotten everything I didn't have. Grandkids next if I'm blessed enough to be a grandma." Hey, being a grandparent is a blessing. When we have Saint over, um, he calls me Pop Pop, Pop Pop, Pop Pop. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. And I do my role. Like anything that he ever needs or will ever need in life, I will be here. I tried. He's real attached to his mom though, right? So I can't get him to stay the night. She can only be gone for like 2 or 3 hours. And he's like, I want my mom. So he won't stay the night. But yeah, I think you'll be a great grandma, especially if you're into giving your children what you didn't have. Like I said, I'm not going to say we never went hungry as kids. We never went hungry. We always had food on the table. We didn't always get what we wanted, but my mother always made sure that we had what we needed. You know what I mean? So for that, I definitely got my work ethic from my mom. My mom is probably, even when it comes to men, my mom was probably one of the hardest working humans I've ever met. Like my mom was a blacksmith. I remember when I was a kid, she was a blacksmith at one point. Isn't that crazy? Like a female blacksmith. I remember her working 3 jobs. Like she would work a job, come home and legitly sleep for 45 minutes and be like, wake me up when the alarm goes off. And it would be so hard to wake her up. And looking back on it now, I get it. She would be tired and she would get up and she would leave out the door and go to the next job. And then she would come home and she would sleep for an hour or two and get up and go out the door and go to the next job. So I know I got my work ethic from my mom, but my mom always made sure we had what we needed. And anytime she had something extra, she took pride in trying to get us some of the things we wanted. But there was four of us. So I grew up in a time where if one kid got a toy, we all played with it. And if you didn't want to share it, then the toy got taken away. So I love my mom, and we don't really have the relationship that we once had, but you know, she's a great mom. Hey Marie Osborne, do me a favor. Stop commenting. Last time me and you spoke, you repeated what I said to you, so thank you. And I'm not putting my mom's life out there. I'm actually complimenting my mother. So there's that. New life of Woody said, no, I don't need that. He called me 5 times a day. Marcus called me 5 times since we've been on the live. AZ Ruction in the house. Big salute to the chat. Big salute to AZ, man. Would love to hear about the craziest tattoo you ever did in prison. Um, I've done some dumb tattoos. Craziest tattoo. I did a gang tattoo on a dude's face one time, and the same exact night that he got the gang tattoo, he got violated and kicked out the gang. That's no lie. And he got these big letters underneath his eye, like the initials to the gang underneath his eye. And no sooner than I did it, they were fresh the same night. He went out on the yard. He did something he wasn't supposed to, and they violated him, kicked him. They just called it getting kicked out the car. They smashed him all the way out, kicked him out the gang, and here he is with these fresh gang tattoo all the way across his face that he ended up having to get. We would do if you had the tattoo was fresh, you could take the gun and run it over top of it and dig it up, like pretty much dig the skin up and kill the skin, and the tattoo would kind of peel off with it if it was fresh, and that's what he ended up doing. So now he's a black dude running around. It's got like these light splotches all the way across his face to where he had somebody dig it up to try to remove it. I did a tattoo on a dude one time where I did his daughter's name all the way across his throat, and he didn't know how to spell his daughter's name in ginormous letters, and he went to the visiting room only to be called an idiot by his baby mama. There were some tattoos I wouldn't do. I wouldn't do racist tattoos, and never like I didn't do the racist tattoos. If you came to me trying to get something racist put on you, I wouldn't do it because it's just a bad look for me. When somebody's like, "Well, who did that? Who sat in there and put a ginormous swastika on the side of your head?" And you're like, "Well, Jay did it." You know what I mean? And that kind of I don't want to say it makes me look like I'm co-signing that type of stuff. It's just a bad look because if he's not supposed to have that, and, and he didn't earn that, and somebody wants to question why he has it on him, I don't need him questioning me about it. Hood Billy said, "Bro, that's 100." I went and found my daughter a couple pair of Jordans. Laugh out loud. She was like, "I got some like mom and daddy." I said, "You sure do, baby. You just can't get them dirty. You should have seen out." Yeah. Hey, my son, he think because he watches too much TV that when he plays basketball, he's supposed to play basketball in Jordans. So he'll be outside like running around in a pair of fours, brand new fours that he just got from school. And I'm freaking out. I'm freaking all the way out. He just doesn't understand like the value of a dollar. So now he's got a couple pair of different Jordans that I said, all right, you can use these to play in. Dollar Home Improvement said, "Hey Jay, love your channel. Doing what you do, bro. I'm going to. I'm going to continue to do what I do. I try to be respectful to everybody. I try to be honest and definitely respectful. I want respect, so I give respect, and I don't get disrespectful or do any of that until I feel I'm disrespected. Like I can be the nicest guy, and I'll just feed off of pretty much the energy that's in the room. Like if you respect me, I'll respect you back. If you disrespect me or come at me sideways, then I'll try not to do that, but if it gets underneath my skin enough, that's what you get in return. I see a lot of trolling lately, and the trolling is comical to me. It's more comical to me when I see it really start to affect guys because that's what the trolls aim to do. Like when they make their videos and they say things like they're trying to get underneath the guy's skin. And I'll tell other guys that are new to YouTube, I'm like, don't respond to that stuff, man. Pay it no attention. They need your response to be relevant. And then I'll see somebody like respond to them, then the troll will make like 10 videos. But that's something I'm finding humorous. That's just part of YouTube. Like once people start trolling you, you know that like you're doing something. Either that or they like you. Johnny Sack said Jay was a booty bandit. Your mama was a booty bandit. H said, "Hey Jay, I need some advice. I have a similar relationship you had with your dad, and it's getting to the point of no return. What do you suggest? Fallback. Um, just separate yourself for a while. Like whenever two people don't agree on something, sometimes it's better just to give it some space and some time. If you talk about things while you're in your feelings or um in the heat of the moment, you might say something that you can't take back or something you don't mean. And if you have somebody in your life that is not making you feel good about yourself, then step away from it, until a point that y'all can come to a common grounds and talk about it. You don't want to say hurtful things or mean things or come off wrong. So just step away from it. I'm assuming you're over the age of 18. If you're over the age of 18, having your dad in your life is a choice that you're making. That's an option. And if somebody makes you feel unwanted or like less or undeserving, then just I'm not saying cut the person off. I'm saying just give it some time. Step away. We all got to step away from people at times, or otherwise we end up offending somebody. New life of Woody, you said he's been drinking. I can tell he's been drinking. Hey, when he starts blowing me up, I know he's been drinking. New life of Woody said, "Hey everyone, I'm almost at 1,000 subs. I got a special prize from 1,000 subs, a free painting from me to them. Help me out. Tell people about my channel. Anybody in here, real quick, that's not subscribed to a New Life of Woody, please go over and hit New Life of Woody up. Get him to that 1,000 mark, man, so he can do a little bit more with his channel. He's a good guy, man. I wasn't sure about Woody when I first met him. He was a Florida boy. He was fresh here from Florida. But after we got to talk and we got to know each other, Woody became one of my favorite people real quick. He did make me hate football though. Dude is football fanatic, and he would be in that cell screaming. RG3 had just got drafted to the Redskins, and Woody's a Redskins fan, and he would go nuts in that cell. Even though we had TVs, he would be on the door watching the TV in the pod, yelling up to other dudes that he had made bets with, and used to drive me crazy with the football. I have not liked football since. Stephen Navu said, "What up, Jay? Going to rehab tomorrow. Wish me luck. Best of luck, man. Take it serious. Look at the life you have ahead of you, and look at the people that. I mean, if you're in addiction, you've clearly lost people. You've seen the long term effects it can have, the things it can cause people to do. Take it serious. If you have an opportunity to go to rehab, that either means you have insurance or somebody loves you a whole lot because rehab's not free. Get clean, live your best life. Look back on this as just a phase, but let it don't let it be something that you continue to do. There's a lot of people out there that need that that type of help. They can't get it. So and out of respect for them, do what you should do. Anna, hey, thank you from Anna. She said much love from me and Bama. Big salute to you, Anna. Thank you. Make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Josh and Jesus, are there any people or folks out east? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Everywhere I've been. Believe it or not, the people and the folks was out here way before a lot of the other gangs were. Like way before I started hearing of like just the mainstream gang, the gangs you used to hearing about, Bloods and Crips, like people and folks was always out here. I went out and stayed in Illinois for a little while when I can't remember. I might have been like 17, 18. I went out there and stayed with my cousin for a few months, and they was mad. They were deep out there, man. Izo said, "Jay, would you have? He went to prison at 20. Why got also I'm 24 now, and your videos give me the most motivation to keep a straight head and not go back to the shit. Salute, big dog. Yeah, don't leave it alone. Leave it in the past. There's a reason you see me with my children, my family, and not hanging out with people. They don't get it right. And if you ride around with people and you're up to no good, it's only a matter of time before it ends bad. My family always warned me. Like I had so many great people in my life that tried to get me to stop, from aunts and uncles to my mother and her husband. They always tried to stop me, and I wouldn't listen, man. And they gave me great advice. They were always there for me anytime I needed them, and I just didn't listen. I just wanted to be in the streets. I just wanted to be popular. I just wanted to be around everybody I shouldn't be around. And in the end, I found myself all alone. All alone. When the handcuffs go on and you got to take that trip, your friends usually don't go with you. So, hey, kudos to you and salute to you, man. Live your best life and leave that in the past. Well, look, I'm now going to get up out of here. We were at an hour and 20 minutes now. Shout out to everybody that stopped through the night and everybody came through. It's been a minute. I'm dropping part two of the video we were talking about earlier when the prison put all the sex offenders on blast. It was a very, very, very bad month to be them guys, but it was a very entertaining month to be all the rest of us. That's got to be your worst nightmare as a guy that has done something like that, to find out that you're now going to be going to classes and everybody in the prison is about to find out what you did. And ain't nobody trying to hear the excuses. Everybody's got an excuse, but y'all will get it all in tomorrow's video. But for now, I'm going to sign out. I'm going to get up out of here. Salute to everybody that stopped through the night. Thank y'all. If you are not following me on Instagram, please go over to Jay Let's Live Life on Instagram. Let's get that channel to 10,000 so that I can really do what I'm supposed to. You're limited on what you can do until you hit that 10K mark. We're like 700 followers away. So head over to Instagram and Jay Let's Live Life. And until next time, man, you already know what it is. I love y'all. Be good. Stay safe. Thank you for everybody tuned in tonight. And as always, salute.